Alright, what is going on, Dan? How's it going, man?
How's it going?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, so guys, this is our podcast. We thought we'd give it a go, and if you have any suggestions to make it better, to make it worse, to make it happy, to make it sad, please leave it in the description or comments below.
Hello.
So,
Okay.
Dan, what are we talking about today?
Well, as a request, due to the fact that it did incredibly well and one of our best videos in recent YouTube history for us, we are doing a Morphing Spells Part 2.
Yeah, so we're going to go over the morphing spells, basically what we know can be morphed, some of the spells that have been announced that can be morphed, and, you know, to give you some insight, a bit, it's kind of like in-depth to the in-depth video that we did in-depth about the morphing skills.
Yeah, just to give you an idea of what the actual kind of possible morphs would be instead of kind of broad overview and guesstimations that we made in the last video.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't really working with much information. We kind of just winged it. But
Yeah.
with this, we have as much notes. I think it took me about an hour to get all these notes. I got them from Reddit. I got them from ESO
As
Wiki.
much legal information as we're allowed to give you without being naughty.
Yeah. So we got basically, guys, this isn't going to be edited. This is, if we mess up, we mess up. I'm sorry. But
I'm so sorry.
so as an example, we were shown a Daedric summoning skill that could be altered to conjure either an exploding scamp or a hulking clanfear. Now, for those of you that don't know what a clanfear is, it's there on the screen.
It's right there.
It's right there. It's above us.
Holy shit.
It's above us.
Yeah, but so you can kind of see that maybe a hulking clanfear would kind of be like an aggro grabbing minion,
or an
whereas
exploding scamp.
scamp would be your kind of DPS. So yeah, it's just kind of a way of branching out and trying.
If
to
you're the
choose
kind
a
of
type
person
character
that likes to
play.
solo stuff, exploding scamp would probably be the best because you get
Really,
things
I would say hulking clanfear to kind of grab the aggro while you pin
Well,
down.
what I found in most MMOs is if you have something that takes the aggro, that pet will die. Then if that pet will die, it's going to come and kill you. If you could DPS it down as fast as possible, if you've
Well,
like double the
clearly,
damage going
You're just
on.
not good enough, Chris. Moving on.
Thanks.
The next one we found.
Yeah, go on.
Is they eventually morph and branch into two paths, which is kind of just a summary. An example of this is the slam skill on the Dragon Knight, knocks back the enemy, and then can also daze them as a featured morph. Enhancement, I guess, is the best word to put it.
Yeah, it's like an upgrade of an upgrade, kind of. Yeah, am I saying that right?
No, it's just the first upgrade.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just didn't really understand what it
No,
meant.
because I'm pretty sure slam knocks them back anyway, and
Yeah.
then you give it the extra. Even once they get up, they're like, oh.
So basically, you knock them down, you push them, they get up their days, so you have that extra bit of DPS going in without them damaging. I don't think this will affect elites.
I'm not too sure. It depends. I mean, maybe it will have a reduced effect. Maybe big bosses, obviously, you probably couldn't hit back a huge one, but maybe smaller elites, you might
Could you
be able to
imagine
kind
that?
of
There's just this massive troll
stagger.
at the edge of a cliff, and
Yeah,
you
you
hit
just
it, and
go-
the troll just goes, pew!
just go, "Ugh!"
Yeah, that would be quite hilarious.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what is that on
So,
the floor.
someone who uses an ability... Damn, where'd you go?
Sorry, I'm here.
Oh.
There's something on the floor.
So someone who uses an ability to boost their defense while damaging melee attacks can choose to morph an ability that also deals AoE damage on activation, or boost defense on activation. That's a mouthful.
So
Dan,
again-
explain it.
Someone who wants to be more buff to take more hits could either deal out more damage around them or try and be even more buff and take even more hits. So obviously, it depends. You could try and be kind of just an outright tank, but if you're someone who's going to be taking aggro and you want to also hit, an AoE booster on a move could come in handy.
Yeah, I
so
mean-
for something like it might be like a shield wall, I'm just saying, I have no idea if there's actually an ability called this or even if there is.
There's
So-
an ability that the Dragon Knight uses to reduce damage coming in. It's called Dragon Scales.
Yeah, so exactly. You could put your dragon scales up, but they could also be like, ooh, fiery dragon scales. So like they burn people around you, or it could be like bloody tough ass dragon scales,
Yeah,
which are tougher.
I reckon that's probably one of the best things you could do for one of those abilities. I wouldn't suspect that when you activate it, it would heal
Yes.
allies. I mean, that'd be a bit weird. Maybe, we don't know, but I don't think it would be possibly one of the things that would be a morph ability. Now, do you know
Yeah.
when it says boost defense? Do you reckon they'll add the kind of you know how in Guild Wars, yeah,
Boons.
boons. You know how in
Oh.
Guild Wars, how if you activated a certain thing, it would buff everyone around you. Do you reckon they'll add that into Elder Scrolls?
I don't know. This is the thing. It could be instead of just giving you defense, give everyone around you defense. That could be a type
Yeah,
of morph. But we have some facts that say like exploding scamp or hulking clan fear is like an official one. These other ones are kind of spoke about ones that are kind of a bit of folklore, but they they're I don't know. They're more sensible than some of our suggestions last week.
yeah, yeah. So you can. It says here. I got this from I think it was Wiki. It says you can morph your Templar's AOE swipe attack to heal or generate threat. Now there it is. It says you. Everyone's been saying there's no Holy Trinity, dude. There's a Holy Trinity. There is. I don't care what you say. You're gonna have.
Well, I
You're.
think there's the possibility to make hybrid classes.
Hmm.
Whereas normally you can't really, like most of them kind of they restrict the Holy Trinity. Whereas it's kind of like when you go into character customization, you got the triangle.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably kind of like go in between healer tank or healer DPS or tank DPS
Oh
or right
yeah.
in the middle and have a bit of everything. I think it takes out the borders and lets you go in the middle. So it's it's a lot less restricting. But if you wanted to just go tank, you can go full tank. If
Yeah,
you
I
wanted to go
mean,
full
one
healer.
thing that I'd actually be interested in seeing would be, as you said, you'd have that triangle, but it would actually tell you. Do you know how like if you were specking into certain skills, it would say if you spec this way, you're going to generate more threat and be more defensive and deal more damage. If you
Yeah,
spec
well,
this
this is
way,
this
you're going
is
to
the
deal.
thing. It's you're not just going to be specking. You're going to be morphing into more defensive styles and morphing into more attacking styles.
Yeah,
So this is another one of their many ways of kind of broadening out this triangle to say, well, if you're even a typically healer type class like a Templar, you can still morph your healing abilities to do some extra damage,
yeah,
or not even go along the healer line, just go damage, extra damage, and kind of allow the possibility to be a healer damage player or a healer tank or just kind
yeah.
of
The healer tank is sort of a new trinity if you think about it. I've never seen a healer tank, and as you said, with the...
well, paladins could kind of
Okay,
heal a
okay.
bit, but and kind of DK's healed themselves up a bit. They've always got some heals, but like never like a major heal there. They just go stand there and go, okay, you attack me.
Yeah, we
Heal.
know that the Templars
Uh,
restoring
We
light.
need to get back onto the morph side. We're getting
Oh, we're
sidetracked
getting
here.
sidetracked. Sorry, guys. So finally, to summarize, you can add knockback effects and stunning effects to a morph ability to change the skill to the way that you want it. So as you all know, the more you if you've got a skill on your hopper and you level up with XP from killing monsters, doing quests, etc., your morph abilities will sooner or later become active and you can spend them. So this system allows you to create a unique character with a unique set of skills, and you can manage your abilities and extra effects, yourself. So it's not like kind of a set thing. If you don't want it to go in there, you don't have to morph it. It's not forcing
Exactly.
you to
So if
morph it.
you're going for like a certain playstyle and then you realize, wait, I've kind of gone wrong here. I wanted to go. If you're kind of going healer DPS and then you're like, oh, actually, I want to go full DPS.
Yeah,
You can step back and kind of remorph it into exactly the type of playstyle that you need.
exactly, exactly. And that's what makes Elder Scrolls so unique and new. I mean, no other MMO is giving you that much of a customization to your character's abilities.
I think that's exactly what they wanted to bring through in ESO. If you went and saw your friend's character, obviously you couldn't play with them, but no character would really be exactly the
Yeah, I
same
mean,
on Elder
this.
Scrolls.
If you look back in other MMOs, there was this thing called a cookie cutter build, which means every patch there was always the best spec to go. You had to go this spec to pull off the most DPS. But whereas in Elder Scrolls, it's customizable, and it is only possible to change your morph specialization. You know, your original distributed skill points cannot be returned, but you're given enough points to actually level everything.
Yeah, if you wanted to go get some extra skill points, it's possible to do, and you can get them through leveling up the actual skill that you want to add to. So
Yep,
yeah,
that's basically everything we have on morphing. I mean, it was requested and it was a good idea, so we said we'd make it as our topic video.
yeah.
Let us
So
know, guys, if... Sorry, Dan, do you want to say something?
no, go ahead.
If you like the podcast idea, the whole idea with Me and Dan talking like this, looking to the left and thinking we're in the same room. Um, or if you
That's
want
not a
us back to
window.
the if you want it back to the original way where we just had the gameplay in the background, talking over it with some nice, beautiful music, please let us know. Dan, do you want to add anything before we go?
No, I'm just playing some music.
Alright, guys, I will see you in the weekly. Make sure to leave your comments below. And thank you very much for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for being awesome. And see
Hmm.
you, the Jester Nation. I just did a weird salute. Goodbye, guys.
See ya.